Hey everybody! So in these videos, I'm gonna show you what we have done in Ninh Binh of Vietnam. Many of our friends recommended us to go to Ninh Binh whenever we are in Vietnam. So we decided to extend our trip in Vietnam and have an overnight stay in Ninh Binh. After lunch, we left Hanoi and head to Ninh Binh, which took us about slightly more than 2 hours. And since we only have an overnight stay, we decided to focus to visit the most popular places. The first place we visited was the Hoa Lu Ancient Capital. We parked our car at the other side of the road and slowly walked across the bridge over Zhou River towards the main entrance.
Unicorn.
Yes, Vietnamese
Unicorn.
The second animal.
The second animals. Do you know Vietnamese unicorn mixed by lion and dog?
Mixture.
Pre-Dynasty.
Hoa Lu Ancient Capital served as the center of power for the early Vietnamese kingdom Dai Co Viet from 968 to 1010. This ancient city is surrounded by beautiful limestone mountains and picturesque rice fields as the backdrop. After we enter the main entrance, the first temple we met is the Dinh Tiên Huang Temple.
Oh, the surname.
Yeah. You mean?
Dinh Tiên Huang is the first emperor of Dinh Dynasty. He played a crucial role in unifying Vietnam in the 10th century, and the temple grounds covered about 5 square kilometers, which includes courtyards, gardens, and a lake.
So 2 ponds on both sides and the mountain at the back to support.
To good feng shui.
Just like China.
In the past, you know.
Our guide Andy also pointed out that the tree, which is named Kim Gyao. He said in the past, the wood of the tree was used to make chopsticks. The food served to the king was first tested to ensure that it was not poisonous. If the food is poisonous, the color of the chopsticks will change.
But there are still Chinese words. Chinese words.
The dragon bed, which is located at the temple's dragon yard, is a prominent feature. It has intricate carving of a dragon representing the imperial power and authority. The bed was used as a ceremonial platform for important rituals and offerings, and was dedicated to honor King Dien Tiên Huang and his descendants.
Yeah. And you know, when he grew up here and he unified Vietnam by defeating 12 rebellions or warlords, and he became the first king in Vietnam in 968. Yeah. And then he set up the palace from here. Yeah. And he named the country is Dai Co Viet. It's been the great Viet. Yeah. And he set up the palace here, and you know,
Dinh Tiên Huang rose to power in 968 after defeating 12 rival warlords,
and
he then unified the Vietnam state known as Dai Co Viet, and his rule came to an end with his assassination. He also mentioned that King Ding built the palace here, but it was destroyed over the years. The temple we see today was built in the 17th century.
We put the small mountains and the small pond to good feng shui. Because a lot of here mountains, a lot of rivers, so we collect more. It's very good.
Let's see, this side I haven't seen it yet.
真统是，真统是。
Yeah, can you say so?
After that, we visit the other temple, that is the temple Le Dai Hang.
Temples, every purpose, we get
In brief, after Ding Tian Huang's murder, Vietnam fell into chaos, leading to a power vacuum. So, in the absence of a strong leadership, Le Huang, who was the chief commander of Ding Tian Huang, seized the opportunity, and he then overthrew the young emperor, eliminated rivals at court, consolidating the power for himself. After his coronation, King Le achieved two glorious feats. First, defeating the Song troops from China to protect the north, and second, repelling the Champa army to restore peace to the south. He declared himself as emperor, marking the beginning of the Le dynasty.
And the queen.
In the center of the main temple is a statue of King Le sitting on his throne, together with the queen and also the sun.
It means horse saddle.
Mayan.
Ma'ayin.
Mayan.
Yeah, Ma'ayin. It means horse saddle.
Mayan.
Yeah.
Horse Saddle Mountain.
Lastly, we visited the memorial of Li Taitou. This memorial served as a tribute to the founder of the Li dynasty. He became the first emperor of the Li dynasty after moving the capital from Hoa Lu to Thang Long, that is the modern-day Hanoi. Ever since then, Hanoi has become the capital over 1,000 years, functioned as the political, cultural, and economic center of Vietnam. Bai Dinh Temple consists of two sections. The old temple is dated back to the 11th century. It's located on a small hill next to the new complex, which was constructed and completed in 2010. After purchasing the entrance tickets, we took the electric car to the Pearl Well, which is close to the entrance of the old temple. We walked from the well to the ancient pagoda tree gates through a pavement with two rows of Arhat statues on both sides. Then, the pavement turned into a few flights of stairs before we reached the tree gates. We continue to walk up the stairs to reach the Buddha worshipping cave. Inside the cave, there are many different statues of the local deities. We had to pass a narrow passage, then emerge from the other side, leading to the Gaosan Temple. We noticed that most of the words written are in Chinese and not the Romanized Vietnamese language that we are familiar with. Our guide told us that the Chinese characters were part of the Vietnamese writing system before developing the modern alphabets. Not far from the Gaosan Temple is the ancient medicinal plant valley. Since it is a dead end, we had to return to the Buddha worshipping cave to continue to explore other temples. Then we reached the Nguyen Minh Kong Temple, and you can see there are many temples here. And this one is dedicated to the Zen Master, which is a prominent figure of the Lei Dynasty, and which is known for his contribution to Buddhism and traditional medicine. The last cave we visited was the Mother Goddess worshipping cave. There are many stalactites and stalagmites inside, and there is a well of God in the middle of the cave. There are also many beds hanging from the ceiling. So we returned to the entrance and headed to the new complex. The first site we visited was a 3-period hall. The hall has 3 vast statues, that is the past Buddha, the present Buddha, and the future Buddha. The second spiritual site we visited was a Bao Tian stupa. The stupa is about 100 meters high and is one of the tallest in Asia. Inside the stupa is a gold-plated statue of Shakyamuni Buddha on a beautiful carved altar. We climbed the stairs to the first floor and then took the elevator to the top floor to take a panoramic view of the entire Bai Dinh complex and its surroundings. Next, we move on to the Buddha Shakyamuni Hall. At the center of the hall stands a large Shakyamuni Buddha statue, which is about 10 meters tall and weighed about 100 tons.
Not all the Vietnamese know Chinese anymore.
We offer our donation and we are allowed to write our names and the address on a towel to acknowledge our donation. Then we walk to the Kuan Yin Hall through the Arhat corridor. Each statue has a unique facial expression and posture, and the front of the statues are engraved with their names in Vietnamese and Chinese. And at the Kuan Yin Hall, at the center, there is a giant statue of Kuan Yin with multiple arms, symbolizing her ability to assist many people simultaneously. The third activity we joined was the Trang An boat tour. The boat tour offers a scenic exploration to the landscape with limestone karst, caves, and temples. And this area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is often called Halong Bay on the land due to its breathtaking natural beauty. After purchasing the ticket, we join 2 young locals on a small boat and start our journey. There are 3 roads available for the tour, and today we follow Road 3. The entire boat trip takes us about 2 to 3 hours. Our boat guided through the river, surrounded by towering limestone hills and lush greenery. The first temple we visited was a twin temple. It's very easy to recognize because there are 2 large statues of calves at the entrance. Then our boat arrived at the Lamp Cave, which has a very narrow passage. We had to lower our heads to pass through the cave. Next, we arrived at the Gaoson Temple, which is dedicated to the god of the mountain. It was very relaxing to sit there as the water was very calm today, and we passed through various caves and also a few temples. Each time we were allowed to disembark and explore the area for about 10 to 15 minutes at each temple. After that, we passed through another cave called Wang Cave, and again with a narrow passage and a low ceiling nearly touched our heads, and we all had to lower our heads as much as possible. The last site we visited was the Wulam Royal Steps. This place once served as a military base during the Tang Dynasty, and it was used to consolidate the forces to counterattack the Yuan and the Mongolian invaders. The most striking view at this place is the building that appears half submerged in the water in front of the royal steps. It is in fact part of the Wulam Palace. The half-submerged position creates a stunning visual effect as our boat slowly passed through. So that was the top 3 destinations we chose to visit during our overnight stay at Ninh Binh. If you are planning a trip to northern part of Vietnam, it is worth to include Ninh Binh as one of your destinations along with places like Ha Long, Sapa. We have separate videos about things we do at each of these places and you can check it out. And I'll see you again in these videos. Cheers!